Good morning, YouTubers, friends, followers, subscribers, Trevorites, lovers, haters, and wasted spacers, and those that are chicken chasers. Listen, guys and girls, thank you very much for continued support here. It's awesome. It's awesome. We're continuing to grow thanks to you supporting the channel, and I appreciate it. Right. Where do I start? Listen, people, I am probably the most resilient individual that I know, whether you like that or not. The fact that I'm continuing to keep the channel going, the fact that I continue to go forward with positive thoughts, even though I am being chased daily with negativity, that I ignore it. I got my body armor on and I ignore it. Nothing gets through here. I know my videos are watched, recorded, by the haters, which is fantastic, and I have to say thank you very much to those who continue to spell hate, because every time someone on Twitter says something negative about me, my channel grows, so the positive comes from the negative. So there we go. Right, a big shout out to Burnt Out Rant. Thanks for the t-shirt. Awesome, really like it. And on the back of it, I won't show you, but on the back of it says, I'm not going to get it round, it says Trevor Colt on the back of it. There we go. And I want to say thanks to Neil Thornton. Neil Thornton, a few years ago, in fact, I'll show you. I'm going to go off camera and show you. First of all, he sent me his new book. There's it there. About the bravery of Thomas Jones VC, DCM. But it doesn't just go there. And I connected with Neil a few years ago. And I'm going to show you why. A few years ago, Neil got in touch with me. I was doing good things. I was trying to be positive. And he wrote this book for conspicuous gallantry. And he said, Trevor, this is about people that did certain things in battle. Trevor, thank you for your support. Would you possibly do me a favour and write the foreword? So I wrote the foreword on this book. And as you can see, my name is at the bottom, Trevor Colt. So there we go. And I wrote that, and I've stayed in touch with Neil. He's a great author. I like reading his books because he does loads of research. But so thanks for that, Neil. I appreciate it. Yep, I'm looking forward to reading that. I've read a little bit of it, not much. Right, what else is there? There's loads going on at the minute. I've got loads of fingers and happening on different bits and pieces, which I'm trying to sort out at the minute. Interviews coming up, still waiting on Eddie the Eagle to respond. He said he would come on. I sent him bits and pieces, so we'll wait till he gets back to me about that. But there's lots going on, people, isn't there? Man United Football Club, apparently is going to be bought for $5 billion. $5 billion! Now, I want you to think of this. $5 billion for Man United. Does anyone know Mr. Beast, the YouTuber? Mr. Beast's YouTube and all his social media is worth 10 times what Man United is. Can you believe that? So if you wanted to buy out Mr. Beast and take control of all his products, it would cost you between 50 and 100 million. Wow. Mr. Beast is worth more than Man United. There we go. And all the talk about the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, and how much he's worth and how much he's worth. He gets paid £156,000 a year as a Prime Minister. Last year he earned over 2 million. And he paid, and he has released his own, receipts. Last year, the Prime Minister paid £432,000 in tax. Wow. Jesus, that's a lot of tax, isn't it? Wow. Interesting. I hope other people release their tax returns in and get them in there. Now, the story which is hitting the papers today is this. And you've asked me to comment on it, so don't shoot the messenger. You've asked me to comment on it, so I am. It's very rare these days I talk about this individual because it just brings me pain. Harry, the artist formerly known as Prince, Ready? Because of Harry's own admission in his book, Wah, when he admitted to substance abuse, drugs abuse, his US visa is now under scrutiny by lawyers. This may be a way to get rid of him because the US is sick of him. Yes, you've got the Sussex squad who I don't know, a group of delusional middle-aged people who just have no life that support them. So they'll always support him. Hopefully they can put him up. So there we go. Whenever you go after and you post all these things, all this hate and how the world is against you and how you're such a victim, it comes round full circle and they go, but that's what you wrote. This is your own admission. So your own admission gets you kicked out of the United States under your own admission. Drug abuse. You didn't declare that when you came here. Oh, well, no, I lied. So is your book a lie? Is your book filled with lies then? Is it the book of lies? So there we go. Swings and roundabouts, people. Right, I know there's one thing I am going to cover. Right, I said in my community page earlier on, and I am going to cover it. And I hate covering this. I hate covering it, but it seems there's naysayers out there, and there's people that make stuff up. Right. In 2015, I released my first ever book called First Into Singing. It went on to Amazon. One of the very first reviews on that book was from someone called Pat Brant. Now, Pat Brant is the mother of one of my soldiers that was killed in Afghanistan by a Taliban mortar. Now, unfortunately, I did leave her review up. It had so many nasty things about me, I just left it up. And the reason why I left it up is this is a mother who's grieving. And I left it up because she's grieving. No other reason. But people read into that and they then make their own conclusion. Now, the weird thing is, I could have had it taken down by Amazon, but I chose to leave it. Because I understand grief. I understand what goes through people. And you've got to remember that this individual needed someone to blame. She didn't blame the Taliban. She didn't blame my colonel or my OC. She blamed me, her son's section commander. I'm a bad commander. I was all these terrible things. And whatever. I was accused of lying. Trevor sat there and looked at my son and watched him die. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. The accusations are disgusting, if I'm honest. Now, but I would like to think that fellow veterans that I serve with, or fellow veterans that have been in a combat situation, fellow veterans that understand the complexity of war, I would like to think they wouldn't comment on that, and I would like to think that they would just understand what takes place on a battlefield, rather than say, that's terrible, that's unprofessional, yeah, he's a shithouse, he's that. So, now, over the years, some veterans have made those comments. Not recently, but over the years, some veterans have made those comments. And I feel sorry for them, because for a veteran to make a comment like that, all they are doing is unmasking the fact that they've never been in a situation like that. And they've put themselves on a pedestal above everyone else. In reality, when you're sitting in the middle of an area and a mortar lands within 15 meters of you, and the shrapnel goes in every direction, and the explosion deafens you, the dust is kicked up and you cannot see a single thing until the dust starts to settle, when your ears are ringing like hell. You look down to find blood over your hands, all over your combats. You're in shit state. The guy on your right has lost part of his head and he's lying on his side. Your right arm is shaking because you don't know what to do. You're in battle shock. Well, I would like to see another soldier that would have been able to get up there and actually carry out 100% triage on casualties. Because that's what happened to me. And I wish that veterans would just shut the fuck up and stop criticizing something that they weren't involved in. Because you know what? After 17 years, I'm sick of it. When people comment on it now, I just hit delete on them. I just hit delete on them and I just say, you know what? You're not worth it. You're not worth it. That was one incident in 6 months. I had 63 incidents within 12 weeks. And that was the one that sort of destroyed me, because I didn't know what to do. I was blown up. I was in shit state. And yeah, But I'd like to say thanks to all those that do judge me on that situation. Yeah. Don't hear many people judging me at trying to kill suicide bombers on Route Irish when I got the Military Cross. No. Don't see anyone judging me whenever I had to carry W2 Mark Williams that had been killed, had to carry him through an impact area under fire to get his body back for his family. No one judges you in those situations, do they? No, they don't. But they judge you on the one thing which you possibly couldn't react to. Anyway, listen, I'm going to shoot on. Not literally. Don't people say Trevor's going to shoot something. I'm going to go. I'm going to relax, have my coffee. Might take my dog out for a walk and chill. But thanks to those that do support me. I do understand it. There is lots of hate out there. You've got to see past the hate. If anyone has any questions about multi-service, drop me an email at trevorcoltmc@hotmail.co.uk and I'll happily chat to you about it. So there we go. Listen, people, thanks very much for your support. Keep making sure you're subscribed. Thanks to those that do support me on PayPal. And we'll get there in the end. Take care. Stay safe.